meeting started. So everybody state your name so Grace can record. Lee Wessler's here.
Crystal Adams is here.
Mara Roby is here.
Cynthia
Lori
Mortimer is here.
Lori Barefoot's here.
Faith is here.
Jim Kading is here.
Jordan, you there?
Lori Barefoot's here. I talked over somebody.
Okay. Jordan, you hooked up?
Yeah, I guess I'm here now.
Okay. Jordan Stern's here. Okay, so we welcome Jim Kading back, and he's an alternate, so we seat him. And he can vote today because there's other full members not here.
Oh, I wasn't ready for that. Come on.
Oh my God, the pressure's on. Okay, no public participation. Did anyone have a chance to look at the minutes, and is there a motion to approve them?
This is Crystal Adams speaking, and I do have something to amend the minutes, and I think that Mara does also. But I just wanted to amend in old business 8, section I, wetlands agent. I want to strike the sentence, the selectman attended the inland wetlands meeting to inquire what was deemed necessary hours for an agent to perform duties assigned by the group. That was discussion not at the wetlands meeting. So I would just strike that. You could say there was discussion of wetland hours, land use department and zoning hours, and the importance of enforcing regulations, but.
Okay, oh, Grace, Jean Pillow's here now. Maura, did you, oh, I don't see Maura. Is Maura still here?
I'm
Yes.
here.
Okay, did you have something, you have something to amend too, right?
Yeah, I've sent it twice, so I don't, do you want me to say it again or?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even
Just say
have
for
it
the
up.
record.
I never got a response. Like I sent it, I don't know, a week ago. So I guess I thought maybe she would fix it, but so she's not gonna be at the meeting, right?
Yeah, Grace isn't here.
Does anybody have it up? Cause I just, I'm not sure where.
Let me go get it. I'll go get it.
Sorry.
My apologies for being late. My computer just did not want to boot up.
It happens.
More and more as the computer gets older.
Yep.
I decided, oh, I'm gonna go on the laptop today.
Okay, Maura, I have it up, but I don't have highlighted what you were changing. I just have a copy of the minutes here.
All right, I think I have it now.
Oh, here, I got it. So under 8G, Sustainable Connecticut, you're asking to cross out discussion on a welcome packet for new residents is one of the requirements for certification from the state of Connecticut.
I just wanted to
Well-
move. I wanted to move that out of that topic because it wasn't necessarily a sustainable Connecticut topic. It was that Crystal was going to look, or maybe somebody was going to look in Sustainable Connecticut maybe to see if we could get funding or something. It was about the, you know, some kind of a welcome packet that I suggested. And it wasn't even like mentioned that I suggested that. So I don't know how it ended up there, but anyways, I just wanted that all moved to like its own topic because, you know, that's something separate.
Okay, so you're proposing that it's moved to new business and it's going to say Maura Roby would like to see if there isn't currently a welcome packet for new town residents. Each commission providing some type of info or fact sheet on important topics, including inland wetland regulations and topics the Conservation Commission would like to promote for conservation. Crystal Adams will see what is available now from the town and see if an item on Sustainable Connecticut that can be funded. See if there is an item on Sustainable Connecticut that can be funded.
Yeah,
And then under open discussion, you're asking, Maura Roby gave an update on the Muddy Brook and Little Water Quality Improvement Plan update being carried out by ECCD. A successful kickoff meeting was well attended by local farmers, state and federal agencies, and town committees and officials on February 23rd. A highlight of the meeting was 3 local farmers presenting about the benefits of participating in NRCS programs and the impacts to their operations and productivity that resulted from implementing NRCS conservation practices.
yeah,
So
I
does-
guess somehow it got missed, so.
Okay, so anyone have any comments about the changes, or anyone else have any comments on the minutes? Okay, so hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as modified?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Pam made motion and Jordan second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? And Jim, you're abstaining because you can't aye, you weren't here.
Lee, can we make a recommendation that the different points be put on separate lines, even if it uses more space in the minutes book? Because jumbling them together leads to confusing information. And I think Grace is trying to save space and save us money, but I don't think it's actually doing any good purpose in terms of recording information in a jumbled fashion, because it lumps projects together that aren't related projects.
So like, for instance, under new business, it's just one big paragraph and you're proposing separate line
Well,
items for each.
I think that would be an appropriate way to report, to make everything independent. If they're independent thoughts, they should have their own paragraph. So it's clearer.
Okay, so,
I write a lot of minutes, so I know how to write minutes, but I know that there's an expense that
We
we
lost
have
you,
to
Jean.
pay for the minutes
you're
book.
muted, Gene.
Oh. No, I must
I
have.
can hear her.
You're
I
still
can hear.
muted, Gene.
Leah, I can hear her.
I can hear her.
So can I.
Oh, I can't hear
You're
Is-
muted.
Is
Yeah.
that by intent? No, the concept for new members, the Conservation Commission, our minutes are saved in a special paper, a book binder in the vault as official meeting minutes. And we have to buy that book. It's very expensive. It's hundreds of dollars. And when we once came across needing to replace it, we hadn't budgeted for it because we didn't know the expense existed. I think it was, a thought that maybe if we made the minutes shorter, then we wouldn't have to buy the books as often. But I don't think that we're communicating the outcome of our meetings correctly when we jumble all the things together, which leads to confusion, which was what Maura was pointing out. That's just what I wanted to say.
Okay, Grace, please take that into consideration. Okay, treasurer's report. Did everybody see what Grace attached to the agenda email? Any comments on that? Okay, moving on to chairman's report. Once again, welcome Jim Kading back and
Hey, Jim.
and communications. Crystal, did you see anything in our
I
mailbox?
did, yes. So was a piece of paper printed on the 19th, and it has the amount that I think is left in the budget. It says Special Revenue Fund 25, $2,161.22. It has an honorarium of $50 subtracted from the fund, and the remaining balance is $794.38.
Yeah, that was the treasurer's report.
Great. So
Yeah,
so I've
that's what
got
Grace
that.
attached. Okay.
Okay, I didn't read that attachment, so I don't know, because I was away last week, so I don't know if that was before this was printed or not. There was also a notice from a siting council about a small cell wireless facility going on a proposed 34-foot pole at the Northgate Road near the Woodstock Fairground.
Are they looking for comments, Crystal?
Can anyone hear Crystal?
I can't hear
No,
Crystal.
No,
can't
I
hear.
can't hear Crystal.
Can you
No.
hear me now?
Now I can hear you. I
Yes.
asked if there were any, if they were asking for comments.
Yes, for the cell tower.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got a petition with additional proposals. There's copies that can be viewed at the clerk's office or at the Connecticut Siting Council.
But are they asking for the Conservation Commission to officially
It was sent,
comment?
it was sent, and I think just to let us know about it.
Okay,
It doesn't seem to be
FYI.
asking for anything, it's just an FYI.
okay,
Yeah, and
so
then,
noted.
yeah, and then Lee, as chair, you're CC'd whenever Brenda does a letter, like either welcoming someone onto the commission or acknowledging their resignation. So I've got several of those for you. So what would be the best way for me to get this mail to you?
Swing by and drop it off.
Okay. Great, well, I can do that. That's no problem.
Okay.
And that's all we have for communications.
So what change in membership do we have, Crystal?
Jim, but I don't have his letter yet. I think Brenda's working on that this week. I've got Pam going from an alternate to full. I've got Lee continuing in service as a member. Ruby's resignation. These are from March. Mr. Jordan continuing in service. Cynthia, this is from February, welcoming to the commission, and Lori. Welcoming to the
Crystal,
commission, that's in January.
Crystal, you don't have to drop those off.
I'm sorry,
Except
what?
for Jim. But I didn't get Jim's yet, but I'm sure I'm going to get it.
Okay, so you
But
have
I got-
copies of all,
Yeah, I got emails for all of them.
okay, because the hard copy is put in your mailbox. So I have the hard copies.
Okay.
Then Grace would file that in the file cabinet.
Okay,
in the
so
town hall.
Yeah, so
maybe
just leave it at,
In the mailbox for Grace?
we'll work with Grace.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a mailbox for her. I have a conservation mailbox at the town hall. That's where this
That's what I
stuff
meant.
lives.
Yeah, if you leave it in the town hall mailbox, then she can get them and file them in the file cabinet in room C.
Okay, so we'll have to coordinate that with me. So I'll send her an email.
Okay.
But Lee, do you want this citing letter about the cell company?
No, that's just an FYI, so we'll have it in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else have any communications? Okay, so moving on to old business. There was no DRC meeting. Gene, anything DRC wise to report?
No, the small subdivisions, I just didn't have a chance to even look at them. And because we weren't gonna have any say about the open space, I didn't feel that it was, something I had to stress myself over because of my current workload.
Yeah,
But
understandable.
you could look at them too, Lee. That's what the new checklist has, all those maps links to it on it. But,
Right, but but we have to meet to officially. I can't do it unilaterally.
well, I know, neither can I,
Yeah.
but, it was
Right.
just not possible for me. I mean, Zoom has found me. I end
Okay.
up having so many meetings. I have 4 this week at night, so my time is.
Yeah, I got 3. I got 3. I know the feeling. Okay, Crystal, anything open space wise?
Some, discussion about possible projects coming down the pipeline, but they're not able to be disclosed at this moment.
Okay. Any questions for Crystal?
Hey, Crystal, this is Jean. I saw Andy Resnickevitz from Wyndham Land Trust not too long ago, and he said there was another piece of open space that Wyndham Land Trust acquired in Woodstock. Do you know anything about it?
Off the top of my head, no.
I asked him to elaborate on it, and I haven't heard back from him, so I'll have to pursue that. But I do believe there's another piece of land that closed to in the favor of Wyndham Land Trust.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's really good to hear.
And they haven't closed yet on the property on 169? Or have they?
That's the farm, Maple Crest Farm.
Yeah,
I think that is still, I don't think it's closed all the way yet. I think we're still waiting on the state, I believe.
okay.
But it's, it's done. We're just waiting for them, is what I believe.
Yeah, I understand that process.
It's tedious and slow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Crystal? Okay, P and Z. I don't have April's minutes yet. I got March's, and they talked about the minor subdivision that we can't review. Gene, do you see anything else there that applies to us?
Not that I can recall, no.
Yeah. Okay, Grace isn't here for the Ag Commission report.
I can report.
Oh, wow.
Maura and
Okay,
I were
Gene.
at the Ag Commission
Okay.
meeting. Maura could report too. We, let's see, the Eastern Connecticut Conservation Commission was, district, I'm sorry. I get my conservation's mixed up. I'm so conservative. We presented to them about the Little River Watershed Base Plan update and asked them to partner with us on an upcoming meeting. So that I can report on. Is there anything else that they talked about before we left, Maura?
Not that I recall, but that was their first in-person meeting in over a year, I think.
That's the first
So-
meeting in a year because they didn't do
Yeah.
Zoom. They
Right.
hadn't been meeting, so they had their first meeting. It was live. And so that was why we were there. We gave them a presentation about the Little River Watershed Base Plan update.
Okay. Anyone have anything to update with stewardship?
I don't.
No.
Okay.
Hey, I
Uh,
had a thought. Doesn't Chandler Paquette live on Quarry Road? I'm trying to
no
remember if
idea.
he was the one that lives on Quarry Road and he lives near the property, not the 100-acre property, but the other 53-acre property. And maybe he could be a steward of that property. It's just something that occurred to me for the people who are trying to reach out to find stewards for town-owned land and other things. I can look on the NECOG parcel map to see if I'm correct in my memory that he might live near that property. And it's one we need to go back and visit because last time we were there was how many years ago? Paul Wilbur went with us. Who went with me on that one with Paul Wilbur on the walk on that property where we're GPSing the boundaries? Anybody here that's been there that long? Jim, were you back? Were you part of that?
I think that was even before my time. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Lee, you
was
didn't
even
go
before
on that
Jim.
walk on that?
No.
Wow. Well, because the last time
Or if
we
I did, I
walked
don't
that,
remember.
there was a tree stand on the property and Paul was going to report it, but we haven't been back there since. So it's a property that we can take a look at. We did have an original forest management plan for it, but it was to do a timber stand improvement that wasn't worth a harvest or anything. So I wonder if we could talk Paul Wilbur into taking us on a field trip to go look at that property again and see what its condition is right now. We really do need to look at these things ever since the gypsy moth infestation to see if there's a lot of damaged trees, what's going on anyway. But that's the, I believe it's around 53 acres of several parcels added up together that the town owns that's also accessible from Quarry Road. But
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay, anything on pollinator pathway, Gene? We're
Well-
having a talk coming up this week, right?
Yep, Thursday night, the 29th at 7 o'clock. Emily Mays from the Xerces Society is signed up to give a presentation about 40 minutes or so with questions and answers to follow. She's a great presenter. Maura and I had booked her for a different workshop in the past. I have been doing my best through social media to advertise this. I did not pay for any advertisement. I know from just checking Facebook that we've had 2,634 people that saw the post because Facebook tracks that stuff. And according to Crystal, as of this morning, there's only 20 people signed up to attend. So
I
I'll
signed up,
do
Gene.
another.
Do you have my,
I
this is Jordan.
Yeah, what we did, Jordan, was we set it up so you had to go onto the Zoom site to register with the link that we sent out. And that if you registered for the meeting, you would get the Zoom link to sign up to that night. You have to register in advance. So
I
if
thought
you
I did,
didn't
though.
register, I'll get the link again. Or Crystal, do you have the link by chance?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up to check if Jordan is on the list of participants. I've got 21 signed up right now. Jordan, yeah, I show you as signed up.
Oh, good. So you send me a
You
link
have to
then?
have that link to sign to actually get into the meeting.
Yeah,
So I
Jordan,
hope
it
you
should,
saved
it
Yes.
it.
should have, Jordan, it should have sent you an email with the link for the meeting.
What day was that been sent out?
That's Thursday
It-
night.
It would have
No,
been
I know
sent
it's
out.
coming up Thursday night.
It would have been sent out the same day you signed up, and it looks like you signed up on April 7th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So if
Crystal, can you
anybody's
send me the
not
link?
Signed up, excuse me?
This is Pam. Crystal, can you send me the link?
Yeah,
Can you put
Thank
it in
you.
the chat and then they can just copy it tonight?
yeah.
So does
I'm signed
everybody know
up
how to use
too.
Chat?
One second, I'm copying the invitation. And I'll put it in the chat now.
While you're doing that, I had some buy-in from a local Girl Scout troop that are interested in participating
Oh, that's great.
In the meeting, in the program?
in the program. There's one girl who's interested in seeing if she can incorporate it to like a Gold Star badge, which is kind of
Oh,
like a
nice.
Boy Scout equivalent of like an Eagle Scout badge.
Mhm.
So I definitely have a contact there that's very interested in being involved. So I'll make sure this link gets to Amy Starr so that they can learn a little bit more. And then if you want to just kind of have us give them some guidance of how they could help out with it, just kind of
Okay.
active, that'd be great. We can make sure that they have all the resources that they need to help us.
I'm going to, I'll put together a mini slideshow. It's an introduction. Lee, were you planning to attend?
I do, it's gonna be a last minute decision because I have to take care of dinner for my family that night.
Okay, well, if you were there, I'll let you introduce yourself. Otherwise, everybody's gonna have their video off. But I'm gonna put up a couple of things that people can do, especially for young people. There's a bumblebee watch project. There's a ladybug watch project. There's a firefly watch project. And these are all things if you want to get children outside, but they don't want to leave their technology inside, get them to use their technology to identify things and report it to these different projects where they're trying to do inventories. So it's a great thing to do over the summer for kids who are so motivated, if they want to challenge themselves to take pictures with their cell phones. Most of them use like iNaturalist or something like that to help you identify things if you get a good enough picture. But it also helps catalog where certain things are located and how present they are in different areas. So there's going to be things like that as well. I will do a push tonight, and I'll put together a press release and send it to Winnie tomorrow. So we'll take advantage of they just said they had a big number, 35,000 people follow Winnie now. So I'll put it out through Winnie as well, and they hopefully will pick it up, and maybe we'll pick up a few more people. But maybe people are just zoomed out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day on Thursday. Maybe people don't want to commit to staying inside. I don't know, but
Supposed to
it's
rain on Thursday.
is it? Oh, you would
Yeah.
know that. You've been watching that
Yeah.
information. Um,
I have a question.
what?
Did you ask any questions with the link? Like, are you from Woodstock or anything like that?
Yes,
That
we
you-
did ask for people
Oh,
to
good.
say what town they're from. That was, I worked with Crystal on,
Yep, that's all set up.
Good.
and we'll be able to eventually download that list so that we'll kind of get an idea. A lot of people are following the Conservation Commission Facebook page we set up. We're up to 53 followers now. And if you are not a follower of the Woodstock Conservation Commission Facebook page and you use Facebook, please do start following it, and then help to get this information out to more people by either liking a post when you see it, because when you like it, your friends see it, or if you share it, it will also help get that information out. There's a wonderful Facebook page called Pollinator something on Facebook, and they put these little posters together with beautiful illustrations with little mini messages in it. And I've just been copying and sharing those things so that I pretty much get something up every day to get people to just see these things go by. So share those things, share the heck out of them, and we'll get more people to get the message. And take the time to look at them yourself because they're very informative. I learned so much from those different posts. So like I said, they're there, and please take a look at them. So Crystal does have the registration link to the program on Thursday night in the chat. So if you just copy it, and you can register for that meeting and share it with people that you think would be interested in it as well. either send out an emails, whatever, because I'd really like more than 20 people or 21 people at this meeting. You know, and that's including me and Emily. So I want to
Quick
build those
question.
numbers.
Quick question about this meeting, Jean.
Yes.
Do you want me to record this
Yes,
and
please.
put the link to it on the town's YouTube channel, and then you could link to it on the conservation webpage?
Awesome. Saves me a
Okay.
step.
I will, I will record the meeting and then send you the link once it's on YouTube.
Good. And we can work with Lori and Ruby to make sure that link gets up on the Conservation Commission Facebook page, website, and I can share it on the Facebook page for people to watch it when they have more time.
Great. I'll
So-
put it on YouTube probably
Great.
Friday or Monday.
Okay. What wonderful. So that's the path,
Okay.
pollinator pathway thing.
I just registered, so I'll try to make it. I'm making my 4th Zoom meeting of the week. Okay, any more questions for Jean? Okay, Crystal, Sustainable Connecticut, anything new
Yeah,
there?
so I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. We passed the resolution to join Sustainable Connecticut in February of last year. And then we were in the process of planning a meeting where someone from Sustainable Connecticut was going to come and make a presentation to other boards and commissions to let them know about it and learn about it. And then COVID hit and everything stopped. So my question to you guys is, do you want me to proceed with setting up some sort of a meeting, maybe a Zoom meeting? I don't know, people are kind of zoomed out, or wait till the fall. You know, we need to do a meeting. We need to let other board and commissions know about this program because we need their buy-in. We can't do this alone. You know,
That's
there's
correct.
things that like economic development could do. There's certain steps that planning and zoning could do or ag commission could do. So we really need their support of this project if we're going to get these items done. So we need to present it to them. I'd rather let Sustainable Connecticut present it to them and answer their questions and give examples of what other communities have done. So the question to you all is, should I work with Sustainable Connecticut to set up a Zoom meeting, or there's no rush on this? You know, once you've joined, there's not a timeline. Or do we want to wait and see about doing an in-person meeting maybe later this summer or fall?
This is Jean. I think for this particular program, it is better to do it in person because you're going to need to have that collaboration, interdepartmental collaboration.
I agree with you, and it's really hard to get that collaboration going on via Zoom.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. I
Yeah,
think
me
you're
too.
right.
Okay.
I know that meetings have to be officially noticed and open to the public and in a public location so the public can attend, and then, you know, minutes taken at the end of the meeting. But
Well,
is it possible to have an outdoor meeting someplace for people who may not be ready to do an indoor meeting?
I'd have to talk to, yeah, I don't know about that because then I'm sure they're going to want to have a PowerPoint and slides,
Right.
and that's going to be hard to do outdoor. Also, this is
Right.
not like an official meeting. This is like a presentation. So we
Okay.
can definitely, it's definitely going to be noticed. The public will be invited, but you and I both know how hard it is to get people to come to a meeting. So I don't think we're going to be, having to use the count how many people are in the room and everything. So yeah, I'm not worried about that aspect of it.
It's
You know,
gonna
we-
take a good couple of months to stir up participants from all the departments within the town hall and all the commissions and such.
It would be good if we could encourage others, boards and commissions and departments to like appoint a representative, from
agree.
their board to, be the Sustainable Connecticut person.
I think starting with that is what we need to do now. And then from there, we'll set up the first meeting later on in summer. Does
So
that
how
make
about if-
sense?
Yeah, how about if I contact Sustainable Connecticut and start a conversation about how to get other people on board with this idea and get that conversation flowing, and then, we'll start to look at dates for later this year.
I wonder if on their website, Crystal, that they have videos that we can send a link to people saying, look, this is a great opportunity for Woodstock to work together to be a part of the Sustainable Connecticut movement. And here's a link to learn more about it. And then we're gonna look to get every board, I call them ABCs, agency boards and commissions, represented on a sustainable committee, Connecticut committee, and earn us a bronze rating as our goal. And just steer them to the website, let them get a little familiar with it first, and then we can work on getting, that meeting set up later. But there's information on their website already, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Just send, I think if you send like a letter of introduction to all the chairs of the different boards, just letting them know that this program is, the Board of Selectmen approved it and we plan to move forward with it. And we plan to have a meeting later in the fall, but here's a link that you can go to see what it's all about. Just kind of give them a heads up now so they're not surprised in the fall when we're saying here's a meeting.
I have a question, Lee. This is Jean. Is this coming, are we the lead on this project, or is the Board of Selectmen going to be the lead on this project?
I think conservation is the lead, but I'm the municipal representative.
Okay.
Every
but we're the
town needs
lead.
to appoint, yeah, but conservation is the lead here. It's not,
Okay.
Board of Selectmen doing all the work. It's conservation. We advocated for this, so
Okay.
it needs to be on us.
Okay, I was just wondering if the invitation came from Jay, that
No,
they might be more taken
I-
seriously.
I think the invitation needs to come either from Lee as the chair or from myself as the municipal contact.
Okay.
And Lee, you and I can work on that if you'd like.
Yeah, I think you're the municipal contact, so I think you deserve the credit for doing it. I mean, it's not.
I will add this to my list of things to do, and Lee, I will run it past you.
Okay.
This is Mara. I wonder too if asking Sustainable CT, if, I'm sure there's other towns that have just signed on during the pandemic, and like, what's the best way to move forward? Like, maybe they do have good luck with having a Zoom meeting or something. Just get their input, and see what they say. Just a thought.
Yep, I can ask them.
Okay. Any other questions for Crystal? Okay. Maura, we have I'm sorry, that's not you. Who's overseeing the website? Is that Laura?
Ari,
Yeah, so I had a meeting, apologies, that's my parrot in the background.
I've never been Zoom bombed by a parrot before. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see him, but he heard you laughing, and I'm gonna have to move so that he doesn't keep talking. But I had a meeting with Ruby to review all that happens and all that she's doing, and I honestly think that she's gonna be a hard act to follow. But what she agreed is that she'll do it together with me. And I think that you're finding lots of cool things to post too, Jean. So I'm not somebody who probably is going to find all of those awesome things to post. I already put my credit card information on there, so at least that's one thing. So that I'm going to be the person who it's auto billed to. But again, I think that Ruby's going to be a hard act to follow. She did a great job posting lots of different information. I might not have as much information to post, but I think together with her and then with your input too, Jean, on cool things that you're finding, especially on Pollinator Pathway, we can get this done.
Okay, that's wonderful. When Bette Zimmerman did the website, I put a lot of the content together and she would post it on the webpage for us. So that's
Yeah,
not
she
unheard of before.
Yeah, she told me about that, and I can tell you that I'm not as creative or prolific in terms of posting as any of the predecessors. So what I really wanted to do was to sort of gauge what's the time commitment and what's it going to be like to do this, and it doesn't look like it's challenging to do. So I can technically do it. It's obtaining content and being in the right place at the right time to obtain content that I think has been automatic for some of these predecessors. So anybody who has content, that's great. I don't have tremendous amount of extra time to do it, but I certainly can post, and I'm going to give it a fair shot. I
Thank
know
you.
that again, she's going to be a hard act to follow. I won't be able to do as much as she's done. But I'm going to give it my best shot. And she said that she'll do it together with me. So this is reassuring to me.
Sounds
I'm
good.
trying to talk her into being an alternate, so maybe.
Yeah, that would
It'll
be
be
really
packed.
cool. I don't think she should leave doing that. She does a good
I know.
job and she does it
Yeah.
effortlessly. So if she needs a little break, no problem. And and I don't mind at all about the credit card piece. That's easy. And that's already taken care of. But it requires somebody who's got tremendous attention to detail as well as significant, well, she thinks it's not significant amounts of time, but I think it's a fair amount of time. And she's a very incredibly organized person. So her efforts may seem like they're not too great to her, but to me they are. So we're going to give it a whirl.
Okay.
Any questions for Laura? I mean, hey, now, Maura, your welcome packet review.
Sorry. Yeah. So I haven't actually done anything on it. I don't know if Crystal got a chance to see what currently exists.
I do. I have a copy in my hands. It's very in depth. It's like 6 pages front and back, full of information, history, local government. It talks about special acts and ordinances, planning and zoning, inland wetlands, subdivision, water pollution control, agriculture. It's really packed. I mean, there is no way to add more information to what they have. It talks about septic systems, zoning and building permits, trash removal, public utilities. I mean, what they have is very compact. It's very dense, and I would say you cannot put more information in this.
So is it, sorry, is it in like just the format of they send it like a letter, so they just have the.
So everyone who buys a house in Woodstock, they get that information. So they send this packet, they send a welcome packet, and this is part of it. And they also send like a letter from the tax collector and how that process works. And then they send this packet, they send this brochure It's right here, and it's got phone numbers of all the businesses in Woodstock. It's you know, Woodstock Town Hall contact information, and you know, septic. It's full of information. So this gets sent out, and then they also have copies printed in the tax collector's office. So if somebody wanted to stop in and ask for one, you know, they could get one there. And they update it, I don't know, maybe once or twice a year. They go through and I believe check the businesses and update that. And then there's, you know, just lists of all the businesses and real estate and taxes and motor vehicle and septic system.
What does it say from our commission?
No,
What is it? Can't hear you.
Mara, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you asked a question. Does it say something?
From our commission, the Conservation Commission, is there anything from us?
No, there's not anything from us, but I mean, it's full of information.
may I
No,
ask,
that's,
when you say they send it out, who's they?
This is the tax collector's office.
Okay,
So if you want to advocate that conservation gets a little shout out, contact Linda.
is it, should we ask her if we have those septic system file folders that, sorry, the dog is climbing on me, that the file folders are distributed as well? Because I think that's extremely useful information.
Yeah, you could ask her that. I know that they're in the copy room or the storage room.
so can I get a copy of that, Crystal? I just like to look at it and see what's in it. And
Yeah,
Is that-
so, you know, if you can either swing by the town hall and pick one up, or I can ask Linda to email it to me.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Because
Yeah,
I'm
I'd also
not
like to
often
see
over
what it
there.
says. I mean, some of the things that I feel that might be better advertised is, okay, what are the wetland rules with farming, and when, you know, when do you need to go to wetlands? I don't know if that's in
I mean,
there.
I talked to Linda about that. All that information is on the website, and we did not think that would be read or would be and should be in here.
Yeah, I agree, Crystal. I mean, you know, somebody
then
who moved here 20 years ago, things change, and the website's is going to have the more up-to-date information.
No,
Yeah.
she just said they update it twice a year though. No, but
Well,
I don't think,
No,
The
but it
business-
only goes to new residents.
The business part of this, Sarah.
so yeah, so like, I guess I disagree because I feel like, I don't think people go to the website and read stuff. And actually the website is still a little difficult to find your way around, to be honest. So it's just, I feel like I've already encountered a number of instances where people just are either ignoring the wetlands rules or they just don't know. And so that was my whole
And-
impetus.
Honestly, I think they would still ignore it if you posted the whole website, the whole wetlands rules in here.
Yeah, I don't mean the whole thing, but like, I just wondered if, I guess I was almost thinking of, it would be more of like separate little pages for, you know, for each thing, and maybe, you know, I don't know. I guess I was wondering if there was something, you know, because I just feel like people they're not reading the website and they don't understand. I don't know, maybe.
I mean, a
just
lot of
need to-
people, do read the website, and we do update that frequently.
What
Do
about
you
just a
have
link to, what if it's just, especially in the new citizen packet? Do you live near wetlands? If so, here's a link to the rules.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to talk to, this is the tax department's baby, and they don't even have
Yeah.
to do it. It's just something they do. So I don't want to go and tell them they need to do something. If you want to tell them, ask them to add something, go for it, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
What is the message? What is the message? Maura, I think that, that you think should be conveyed? That's not being conveyed
What are
about
the wet,
wetland.
well, what are the, you know, people, I think people don't understand that, you know, they need to go before wetlands, even if they understand the regs and they think they're exempt,
Yeah.
that's not for them to decide. And so I just think
Yeah.
there's a lot of things like that that people just don't get. And, you know, Jean and I, from doing some work with farmers and stuff, you know, there's just a lot of misinformation in that community, I think, going around.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sort of like, oh no, you're exempt because you're a farm, but that doesn't mean that they aren't supposed to go and talk to somebody about that. And they don't make that decision. And a lot of times, you know, they might have to even prove, you know, why they're exempt. So there's a lot of things that I guess I feel like I've encountered recently. And Crystal, I'm not meaning that you should go do things. I'm just, it's my own, I would like take on.
There is a section, Laura, about zoning and building permits, and that would be a good section to squeeze in a sentence about wetlands. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
I can email this to you when I get it from Linda, and
Yeah.
maybe you can look at it and say, hey, Linda, can you add this sentence about wetlands? And maybe it's something that maybe that's the way that you could get it in.
Yeah. And I
Maura,
guess, yep.
how about if we develop a page about wetlands on our Conservation Commission website?
We could do that. Crystal, do you get counters of how many people visit the sites and stuff?
Yeah, we have a counter that it's not working right now, but I'm going to contact Civic Plus this week and get that working again. Also, you know, if you put something on conservation website or share it on the conservation Facebook, you know, that's something that I can take and share on the Town of Woodstock Facebook page or the conservation page on the Town of Woodstock website.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
going to be more effective because including it in a new citizens mailing is not going to change farmers or somebody who lives here and wants to expand, you know, accidentally expands into wetlands.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an example. I mean, I'm just,
Yeah.
I think my other thought was that we do have a lot of folks that you know, housing is gone out of control, and, you know, you have a lot of people moving in from a city and just understanding, you know, that there are regulations here. And so, but it sounds like there is some good information, so that's good to know. And
I'm curious to see that booklet as well.
yeah.
God, and the business, knowing what the businesses are in town, they change so frequently. I would like to know all the businesses.
Yeah, remember it changes once or twice a year. It changes, so
Right.
it's.
And who updates
the
the
town would-
businesses? Is that done by the Woodstock Business Association? Does that still exist?
No, there is a Woodstock Business Association. I don't know where Linda gets her information from about the businesses. I just know that the tax department takes care of this.
Okay, I'm just curious.
But yeah, there is definitely a Woodstock Business Association. The Economic Development Commission has also recently, you know, been meeting and getting very invigorating. I think they were at the ag meeting. Was there somebody from Economic Development, Maura or Jean?
I
I know
didn't
they were-
know everybody that was there. I knew most of the people, but I think there was one woman that I didn't know, Jean, that was over in the corner, like if we were standing at the front in the left-hand corner in the back. I don't know her. Everybody
There's-
else was on.
So economic development is wanting to work with the Grange and the farmers. I know this because I'm their Zoom host, to do some sort of a farmers market. I think in the Chase parking lot, it's in the very early talking stages. That might be something that maybe conservation wants to consider having a table there and talking about conservation and the septic tanks and, you know, whatever initiatives we have going on.
That's a great idea.
So actually they were having a meeting tonight about it, but I can contact Amy Monahan or Stuart Peasley and say, hey, we'd like more information and let us know when the next meeting is. And if, you know, maybe somebody wants to be a representative there.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'll send that email out.
Thanks, Crystal.
You're
So
welcome.
any other comments on the subject? And next we have discussion of upcoming Zoom meeting for Xerces Society. That's you, Maura, right? You wanted that?
No, that
For who?
would be that's the pollinator pathway thing we already talked about.
Oh, okay. So we got that.
So that's all set up. We just need to get more people to attend. So like I said,
Okay.
please, if you see it on social media, please share it with people. I want to get more people to attend. I want more people to get enthusiastic about this effort. So.
Okay,
Crystal, when I
moving
post
on.
it to the Conservation Commission website, I'm sure you'll be happy to post it again on the town Facebook
Yeah,
page.
because I think I did that I did do that the first
Yeah, I
time. So
know.
yeah, when I see it again,
I know.
I'll post it again.
Linda Lemon shared it too. So
Yes, she,
Putnam Crier, Town Crier, and the Northeast Ledger. I mean, she shared it, not just me. I shared it with a number of different towns. I got responses from people saying this is great, but we still only have 20 people signed up. What I fear is that sometimes when I make people register, they just think that's the Zoom link, and then they go to sign in and they get registered, then they get the link, so they get late. So I'll send out another notice again of reminding people about it.
yeah, we're doing the town meeting the same way. It's going to be hybrid. So people can attend in person. It'll be at the middle school for social distancing, or they can do Zoom, but we made it very clear on the announcement on the website that you have to pre-register so that you can get the link sent.
When is that, Crystal?
That's the annual town meeting. It's May 4th.
May 4th?
Yeah.
Do you have to register to appear in person?
No, you do not.
Okay.
So we'll have chairs spread out and, we'll be prepared for social distancing like we were for the Board of Finance public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to new business. I don't have any upcoming workshops anyone have any upcoming workshops or anyone attend any workshops in the last month?
Maura and I were going to have another Little River meeting next May 5th, but I think we're going to postpone that because we just don't have enough stuff on the agenda. So if anybody was planning to attend the Little River watershed-based plan update meeting, we're postponing it.
Okay.
Anyone else attend any workshops or else? Okay. Hey, moving on to open discussion. Jim, anything? Yeah. Well, I'm going in order that I'm seeing people. Jim, anything? You got anything to bring up?
No, not. Just nice to be here. Nice seeing you all.
Thanks.
Nice to have you.
Okay. Jean has her hand raised. Jean?
I have two things. What happened to our meeting to talk about the drought ordinance? That kind of fell off the agenda. And I think that there's a really good possibility we could be facing another drought this late summer. And I would like to get that back onto the agenda and see if we could talk with I'm trying to remember, was it Josh
It's
Fatone?
Josh Tone.
Yeah, try to get him to meet with us to discuss this issue, because I don't think we have any teeth to enforce it, but I think we should be encouraging people to conserve water when there is such a drastic reduce in flow in our streams. So I want to keep that on the agenda. And the second item is a very big concern I have about one of the ordinances that was passed by the town of Woodstock in 1977 by well-meaning people that I don't even know who they are anymore. But in Woodstock, solar power is tax exempt according to an ordinance that was passed way back in 1977. I do not believe there was a vision that solar farms could be a potential issue in our future. Right now, we're not we're not the low hanging fruit because there's no transmission lines coming into town like there are in other towns. But at work, I'm inspecting a 220 acre solar farm being installed in Brooklyn and Canterbury. And there's another big one coming in behind it that's going to be in Canterbury. And there will be a time when a power generation station is located in town. And once the transmission lines come in, it's going to open it up for a lot more power generation in town. And the concern I have is not that I'm anti-solar. I have solar power on my roof. My concern is the competition for leased land that our farmers depend on for not only producing the crops to feed their animals, or pasture lands for their heifers or whatever. Also, it's an important place for them to dispose and spread out their manure so it's not all concentrated someplace. And solar farms pay a heck of a higher rate for leasing land than our local farmers are used to paying. And the competition would possibly put them out of business. So there are steps that we need to take to see if we can maybe amend the ordinance to, put a limit on what size power is exempt. So the people who have solar power on their homes are maybe still exempt from paying property taxes on their panels, but power generation stations are not tax exempt. The towns of Brooklyn and Canterbury will get a lot of money, tax money, from this big solar project going in. If something like that came to Woodstock, we'd lose our farming base and we wouldn't even get any tax benefit from it. So I can't be the lead on this because I'm lead on too many things and it's just getting me crazy. But I would like to see, I've written to Jay Swan about it. Lee, you were copied on this. I
Yeah, and
talked to the
Jeff
Ag
Gordon.
Commission about it. Jeff Gordon is interested in it, but we need to move forward to make sure that this is not going to change the town in a way we weren't intending. Crystal has her hand raised.
Crystal, what do you
Okay,
have?
I can speak to both of those issues. Jean, I'll email Josh Patone and I'll try to get him to attend, see if he can attend one of our meetings. I will also, I think, yeah, did that original email come from you? I know
It
that.
came from me. I sent it to you to get to Jay.
Yep, so
because-
Jay forwarded it to, I think Stu Morse, Don Adaletta, Jeff Gordon, Lee. There might have been some other people on there just to get that ball rolling. So what I would suggest is on both of those issues, rather than come to a meeting and say, hey, let's make an ordinance, maybe, if people could show up to some of the Board of Selectmen's meetings and under public participation, just kind of plant the seed and just kind of start that discussion, so that it kind of gets into their minds a little bit and they can, start to think about it. But both of those are important issues, the drought and the solar. So, but if people can come to the selectmen's meetings first and third Thursdays at 4 o'clock, right now via Zoom, and
all at
just
4 o'clock.
we had to move because of Zoom. Planning and zoning meets at 7:30, and then selectmen, one meeting a month was meeting at 7. And at the time, I was the only Zoom host and I couldn't host 2 meetings at once. We only had 1 account. So now we have a second town account, so we can have 2 meetings running concurrently. So I think eventually we're going to be moving one of those meetings back to the 7 o'clock time. But yeah, we always have public, comment, and Jay's always happy to hear people comment. So it would be good for this to start to be part of the discussion.
I know that there's whatever enabling legislation there was that the town took advantage of to create the tax exemption. I haven't looked it up to see what the language is in that enabling legislation and whether we could even make it a split where certain size plants are, certain power generation is exempt and other ones aren't. I don't even know if it's possible, but that's going to take a legal opinion that's
Right.
above my ability to do that. So it's going to involve the town attorney to take a look at it to see what we can do. And then we could start to generate support. But again, I feel exhausted to always be the lead on every project. And if someone else could step up and maybe take an interest or take the lead on this, or, I mean, I can try to buzz out of work early to go to a selectmen's meeting. But you know, it's something that needs to get, take a look at before. I'm being proactive rather than afterwards, because as I said, there will be a substation in Woodstock eventually. And once that happens, there's going to be, with the transmission lines, it's going to be a lot more affordable for large scale solar to come into town and compete with our farmers for farmland. And so I would rather not have said, oh, should have done something, you know?
Yeah, but Gene, do you really think it's Conservation Commission's responsibility to change the tax, the way the town taxes people? I mean, what's that have to do with our committee, the taxing?
Well, we have it in our, you know, we are a farm friendly town. We're supposed to be supporting agriculture in some capacity. And in this way, I mean, we're also in favor of reducing our carbon footprint at the same time. But I just don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot to give up our farming and not even be able to make taxes off of it. So if you don't think it should be our charge, it should be coming from someplace else. I completely get that, but it's something that I have a big concern about. And I've been raising,
Gene,
an alarm about it because I think it's a big issue that we need to be thinking about.
Well, we've talked
Gene, this is
to,
Jordan.
hold it, Jordan. Wasn't there a meeting a few years ago where we talked about the subject, about how to keep farms from turning into solar
I
farms?
don't
And
recall attending a meeting like that.
yeah, I think we discussed the subject of preserving farms. Maybe it was on a state level meeting, but I recall that this was a topic that
I
had
know what
nothing to do
meeting
with
you're talking
taxes.
about. Yes, the Commissioner of Agriculture at the time had come to town,
Yeah,
something, begins with an R, and he talked about it. And the Department of Agriculture is dead set against putting solar panels on prime farmland and other in statewide importance farm soils. But the project that I'm reviewing in Brooklyn and Canterbury is about 180 acres of prime ag and statewide important ag soil. It doesn't matter what the Department of Ag says, they get overruled.
right, but it's two separate subjects. You want to preserve farmland, but which is important, and that's in our planning. But the taxes is not.
But Lee, if we make it more affordable and more attractive for solar energy firms to build in Woodstock by having it a freebie, they won't have to pay any property tax on their infrastructure. That's the same thing as doing away with our farm soils. They're not going to go to the wooded areas. Trust me, it's a lot more expensive to cut down the trees and grub out all the stumps, because they're doing that too on the site that I'm inspecting. But, like I said, I heard the rate was like maybe $120 an acre for leased land, where the farms are not paying that for hay and corn.
Right, that's nothing to do with taxes.
Indirectly, the tax-free status of our solar power in Woodstock is a threat to our preserving farmland. Even though our charge is not taxes, our charge is conservation. If we're trying to conserve our farm soils, technically they're not going anywhere, but they're really not going to get, utilized to the best ability. But we're going to lose our agricultural base. And if that's what we care about, then we should be taking steps to, if they're going to do it, at least the town should make money off of it and will increase our tax base.
Right, right. And making money to increase our tax base is not Conservation Commission. Preserving farmland is Conservation Commission.
Yeah, but I can see what she's saying. This is Mara, that sometimes you go about it in a different way because that's the only way you have. So it makes sense to go about it that way to make it less attractive. I mean, if whatever the reason is, it's, that's just an avenue to get, the end result.
Jordan, you had something to add?
Yeah, this is Jordan. So I'm thinking, why don't we make some ordinance that any solar fields have to be like more above ground so the animals can graze underneath or something like that. And if the farm does want to give up, I mean, like the Youngs, they can't give up their farmland because they sold it to us, right?
Right, there's a lot of farms that have sold their development rights within town, but not all of them.
No, but if they wanted to do it, if they want to sell the land to solar, then, I mean, it's
It
their,
is their right to do it. It's their
Right.
right to do it. But I'm just saying, as a town, it is not wise to
but we
encourage.
could make it, we could do some kind of ordinance where you have to have it above so you can have animals graze underneath, something like that.
They will.
Not so low to the ground.
The property that we're reviewing in Brooklyn and Canterbury, they're going to have the posts screwed into the ground. The panels will be up, but they're not going to have any animals grazing on the land. And they're going to be too close together to really permit enough solar power to hit the grass. They're putting those panels in as close as possible in order to benefit the biggest yield. It's a huge project.
Yeah, and I think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lori.
I was just gonna say that what you're describing, Jean, that's there's a perfect example of that when you go over the line in Massachusetts, where you see a dairy farmer, Bangma. There used to be lots of dairy cows grazing in the field, and now there's a big solar farm. It's just panel after panel, and I personally find cows more attractive. But I see the risk you're talking about. You're saying that you ideally would like to see somebody spearhead this. How does somebody spearhead this?
Well, I can jot down the steps, but like I said, I'm not going to sit down and read through legal language in the state statutes, and it takes time to look all these things up. And trust me, I'm spending too much time, screen time, looking stuff up.
Jean, I'm pretty good at legalese. Maybe I can start looking into some of it and see what I can dig up.
Well, if you go to the town's website and look up special action ordinances and look up the solar tax exemption, you'll find the exact state statute that says that it is the enabling language that allowed the town of Woodstock to adopt this tax exemption. And just see if looking at it, it is even possible to allow for some tax exemption for residential solar, but not large scale power plants. And I don't even know if it's legal to do it, to split it that way.
Well, how does Brooklyn work? Do they tax people who have solar panels on the
I
roof?
do not know what Brooklyn does.
Yeah, so maybe Cynthia, you can find out what the towns that are building the solar farms right now.
Yeah, you could look at
Do-
Brooklyn, you could
do.
look at Pomfret, you could look at Canterbury and see, I mean, because they're getting tax money from the solar that's been installed. And see how they do it, if they have a tax exemption or not. These are all things that I know they need to get done, but I have too
No,
many
I can look into
questions.
that. Because I agree, we don't want to make it more advantageous for commercial production of energy to outweigh our agriculture production and preservation of our lands for that purposes, because that really is the sole basis of our town. It's kind of our culture. We don't want to risk losing that and then losing our lands to commercialized industry that our town would lose potential revenue on as well, and that would also undermine all of our conservation attempts indirectly that way. So I don't mind looking into that.
Hey, Crystal, you had comment?
Yeah, Cynthia, if you go to the town website
Mhm.
and go to government and then departments and then town clerk, the special acts and ordinances of the town of Woodstock are there.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll
Are you
put
on
this,
that website now, Lee, with, Crystal?
I'm sorry, what, Jane?
Were you on the website right now?
I do the website, like that's part of my job
Yeah,
is.
but I know, but are you on it at this moment? Can you put it in the chat easily? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I was doing it on my phone, but yeah, I can.
That's what I was asking. I'm sorry. So if you're there, just copy the little thing and save for the step.
I can,
Because I've had to navigate that town website, I don't know how many times. I eventually sometimes have to ask for help, but I usually get what I'm looking for.
Yep, so I'm pulling it up right now.
okay, so what I'm hearing is let's keep this, great, put this on the old business agenda for next month. Our goal is to let the selectmen know that we want to preserve the prime farmland, and that we're concerned that not taxing solar is going to lead to an influx of solar farms, and we'd like to see the ordinance. So, Crystal?
Okay, one more thing, I'm sorry. Cynthia or Pam or whoever is spearheading this, I would highly recommend attending planning and zoning, ag. I can do it as open space since I'm the rep, but encouraging them to think about joining us so we kind of form a coalition and then, going together to a selectman and saying, hey, these 4 or 5 commissions all support this movement to do this.
And Cynthia, Jeff Gordon, the chair of Planning and Zoning, has already reached out to me saying, Jean, whatever you're doing, I'll help you. Like, I want someone else to do this, but so Jeff Gordon has already expressed an interest, and I'm sure other people. There's an awful lot of people in the agriculture background on planning and zoning right now, so it'd be really good to get their input as well. I mean, some of them probably, it's their property and they want to be able to lease it, but at the same time, they're residents of the town, and I think they would understand the impact of the lost tax revenue.
And
So-
I
Right, and
know,
we
I know
hope-
open space would support it.
Right, and we hope it's not, it's not the taxes that are going to prevent the solar farms from coming to here. It's our community and the interest of the farmers, and to preserve farmland is what's going to keep the solar farms from
Actually,
coming
you're
here.
wrong, because these are exempt projects, and it does not get local jurisdiction, just like the cell towers. These large-scale solar farms are locally exempt, and the siting council decides where they go.
No, but if the farmers themselves would rather not sell
Well,
their
okay,
land
yeah.
to,
Yeah,
we
I get
encourage to, put your farm in open space to keep this from happening. Okay, any other discussion on this? And we'll keep it on the agenda for next month.
Thank you.
Any more, anything to report?
Just that meeting that we had as ECCD on the Little River project update, and Jean we already talked about it. We went to the Ag Commission and we're asking for their input. We're hoping they'll work with us to, get an idea of if we can, go out to farms, you know, make site visits, try to make recommendations if there's any areas of potential runoff or the, you know, erosion issues that they feel like they're having. You know, this is all voluntary to just work with NRCS. And, you know, we're going to be putting it into this updated plan, you know, as a summary. No individual information will be shared, but we will come up with some potential practices that NRCS could do, and maybe, you know, why farmers aren't able to adopt them. So try to get rid of some of the the impairments and barriers to why they're not able to work with NRCS. And we really want to encourage, you know, hobby farms as well, horse farms, you know, sheep, llamas, goats, whatever, to just realize that manure management is like one of the biggest things that you can do for water quality. And so we're asking folks to reach out to Jean and I, and hopefully, you know, we can look at if issues exist. Jean?
Just back up. There's some new people here. Maura and I are working on a project focused on the Little River watershed in town, which includes like the eastern third of town draining from North Woodstock down into Putnam. And there's water quality issues that we want to correct. And we got a grant through NRCS that's a Natural Resources Conservation Service, to develop a plan to address the pollution, at least the parts that are coming from ag properties, and an update of a plan that was written in 2009. So there's like background information for anybody who is not familiar with water quality issues in town. Muddy Brook, Roseland Lake, Peckham Brook, all are not meeting standards for the state's water quality classifications. And we're trying to improve that and right now we're focused on working with farms, but that doesn't mean there aren't other sources of water pollution in Woodstock. So that's what we're talking about.
Yes, thank you, Jean.
Anything else, Maura?
Nope.
Thanks. Jordan.
I'm good.
Jordan, good. Cynthia? Cynthia, anything to bring up?
Nope.
Okay. Lori, anything else?
No, nothing else.
Okay. Crystal?
No.
Okay. Pam?
No,
Hey, so anyone have anything else for the good of the order? Does anyone want to make motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn if everybody promises to come to the pollinator pathway meeting on Thursday night.
I'll be there since I'm hosting it, Jean.
Okay.
I'm already there.
Yes.
Jean.
Yeah,
See
I
you Thursday
signed up
night.
tonight, Gene.
You've had
Okay,
like 3
great
people
meeting.
sign up during the meeting. Thanks. Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.
you too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.